So, what if I told you the solution to our biggest problems? We're talking climate change, food crises, economic meltdowns, wasn't some newfangled tech, but actually the bull? It sounds kind of crazy, right? Well, today we're digging into a book called Nandi Jai Jagat that makes exactly that argument. Let's get into it. To really get this, we have to start with this incredible story. The author, an agricultural scientist, had spent 6 long months on this perfect modern organic farming project. He takes it to a respected spiritual leader, a Swamiji, and is probably expecting a pat on the back. Instead, the Swamiji just asks a few simple questions and completely dismantles the whole thing. The author realized his plan had no future. He had to throw out 6 months of work and start over from scratch. Now, that crushing conversation actually sparked a huge realization for him. He started thinking, maybe all our problems aren't separate issues. Maybe they're all just symptoms of one single fundamental conflict, a battle between two very different kinds of power that are shaping our entire world. Okay, so on one side of this fight, you've got what the book calls Nandi Shakti, or bull power. And listen, this is way more than just an ox pulling a plow. Think of it as a whole philosophy for living. It's renewable, it's local, it's all about working with nature. The result? A society that can stand on its own 2 feet. A healthy society. And then, on the other side, you've got the complete opposite. Taila Shakti, or oil power. This is the world most of us know, right? It's based on stuff that runs out, it needs these giant, centralized systems to work, and according to the book, this is what inevitably creates dependency, where a few people or places hold all the cards, and it leads to what he calls a fractured, diseased society. And this table, wow, it really breaks it down. Look at the difference here. It's not just about renewable versus non-renewable. The author takes it way, way further. We're talking about a moral, even a spiritual battle. He literally calls Nandi power a divine energy and oil power a demonic energy. So the takeaway here is huge. This isn't just about what fuel we use, it's about what kind of world we're choosing to build. All right, so if that's the choice, what happens when we go all in on oil power? Well, according to the author, we're living the consequences right now, and it's not pretty. The book argues that the bill has come due, and it is a big one. Let's start with some numbers. The book points out that a country like India depends on 80% of its needs on imported oil. 80%! Just think about that for a second. That means your entire economy, your stability, is basically in someone else's hands. It's an incredibly fragile way to live. And it's not just about one country's economy. The book zooms out to a global scale with this shocking claim that 50% of the world's good farmland is turning into desert. And the reason? Our oil-powered industrial agriculture system. We're literally destroying the ground that's supposed to feed us. And if that wasn't bad enough, look at this. The book claims we've lost 70% of the Earth's biodiversity. 70%. All that incredible variety of life just vanished. The argument is pretty chilling. The very engine we think of as progress is also the engine of mass extinction. But it's not just about these huge, abstract numbers. The book brings it right down to the village level. You have these communities that for centuries could take care of themselves. They were self-sufficient. Now, they're totally hooked into the global supply chain. And here's the really scary part. The author warns that if that oil supply gets cut off for just 1 year, everything stops. No tractors, no fertilizer, no food. Okay, so that's the diagnosis. A world sick from its addiction to oil. So what's the cure? Well, the book has a prescription, and it's a pretty radical one. Let's dive into the solution it imagines for the future. The big idea is something called Grama Swarajya, which basically means self-reliant villages. And as you can see, this is not just about going back to old-school farming. Not at all. It's about building a whole new kind of local economy around the bowl. We're talking local industries, biogas for clean energy, even local electricity grids. And here's the key part. It's not about throwing away modern technology. It's about smartly blending new innovations with these older, sustainable principles. But this argument goes even deeper than just economics and ecology. The author believes that Nandi the bull is more than just an engine for the economy. It's a powerful cultural symbol, one that can actually heal divisions and bring a nation together. Literally, from the ground up. And this here? This is from a poem in the book, and it shows you exactly what he means. Look how it builds. It starts with the most basic connection, with the soil. From Nandi, I am a farmer. That's the foundation. From there, it expands out to your community, your religion, your country, and finally, to being a human on this planet. The idea is that this shared connection to the land, through Nandi, is the one thing that can unite all the other parts of who we are. So, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds very philosophical, maybe a little abstract. But here's the thing. The book doesn't just stop at theory. It actually ends with a concrete, bold plan of action. And this is wild. In 2024, a group that believes in this idea actually got together and passed a formal resolution. They set a clear, measurable goal. In the next 10 years, they want to increase what they call Nandi wealth. That's the number of working bulls and the whole system that supports them tenfold, 10 times. They're trying to turn this blueprint into a real national mission. And that's what we're left with, this really big question. In our world, where we're all chasing after AI and rockets to Mars, does turning back to the bull for answers make any sense? Is it just a romantic, backward-looking fantasy, or is it actually a radical, practical, and maybe even necessary blueprint for our survival? That is the challenge at the heart of Nandi Jai Jagat.